The body positivity movement. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Do I like it? Do I hate it? Do I love it? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Happy Monday. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope that your weekend went well. I hope that your weekend was full of fun and recovery and planning, organization, and a little bit of relaxation as well. Happy Monday morning. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, obviously it's dropped at 5 o'clock in the morning on Mondays and Thursdays. And if you're watching the YouTube version of this, then it's probably Monday evening or Thursday evening. It's 5 p.m. is when that drops. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, rate it 5 stars. Leave a little review. Take a second right now to go on Apple Podcasts. Leave a little 5-star review. Leave a little review. Write something down about what you think of the show. If you're watching this listen to this on Spotify, rate it 5 stars. No matter what platform you're on, just give us some feedback. And I say us, but it's just me. So give me some feedback, and those things as well help me out in the little algorithms that everyone likes to hate. And so welcome to the show. Welcome to the Risen Fallen podcast. I'm your host, Mark Henriksen. And if you're brand new to this podcast, what you can expect is open and authentic conversations about things like mental health and self-development and how to get your life back on the right track, feeling good, feeling like you're moving forward. And if you are not brand new to this, if you're a returning listener or viewer, then thank you very much for coming back and supporting the show, supporting this journey, supporting this movement of being able to strengthen yourself and then along the process, lift others up along the way. So, welcome to the show. Let's take a second here. I've been doing this recently, but I'm going to do it today as well. Let's take a second. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. We're going to take a second together to take a little breath, whether you're driving to work, driving home from work, you're maybe sitting at home folding some laundry. I don't know what the fuck you're doing right now, but let's take a second to stop, take a breath. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee. We're going to get in the mindset of getting better, and we're going to take a second to just breathe, maybe sip your coffee, maybe just take a breath, and get ourselves in a nice development, growth mindset. So I'm going to take my sip right now. Let's all do this together. God, I love coffee. That's good. All right. So the other day, I'm sitting down, kind of chatting with, a couple people that I love that are near and dear to me. And we start talking about the body positivity movement, this movement that's been going on. I'm sure a lot of you, if you are into the realm of health and wellness and fitness, and and all those different things as well, like all the good stuff, the character development, the personal development, everything like that. I'm sure you've heard of the body positivity movement. You've got people like Jordan Peterson that has his famous "not beautiful" tweet. We've got extremely overweight people on the covers of magazines. We've got tons of different things going on, basically saying that no matter what, you are perfect, you are worth it, you are, all these positive messages around health and wellness and the shapes and sizes of our bodies. And this is not an attack. This is not even really my opinion on that whole movement. I think that, it's obvious that everyone's kind of born with a different skeleton, a different shape, a different levels of abilities. Even like some people don't even have all the same abilities that we have. Even like just to think about how grateful and blessed we are just to have 2 moving legs that work and function properly, 2 moving arms that, do the things our brains tell them to do. If you've got all of your limbs that function properly, take a second to be grateful for that, because not everybody has that, but this idea that we should be kind of, shaming or, degrading the idea of people that are born with impeccable bodies, these people, whether they, go years and years of, taking very serious detail of their nutrition, taking a lot of time to plan out what they eat, how they eat, when they eat, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're working hard in the gym year after year after year to build these impeccable bodies that do crazy things. The idea that we shouldn't celebrate the tip top, the apex, the peak of the mountain, these types of people, it's very common that a lot of times in the media, people want to tear these people down and say that they are, oppressing people that have, less abilities than them, or quote unquote, like worse bodies, like whatever you want to say. And, I think that that's almost shameful, because I think that no matter what, when somebody achieves something that is highly desirable, in any, aspect of life, whether that's wealth, health, fitness, the type of physique that someone wants to have, the type of financial life that someone wants to have, the type of relationships that someone wants to have. I think that we should celebrate the people at the tip top, the very best of the best. And I don't think that we have to compare ourselves and think like, oh, I should have that, or they don't deserve this, or they don't deserve that, or why don't I have that? We should just be able to compare ourselves in a healthy manner and say, isn't it great that this person achieved that? This should be celebrated, and maybe this should motivate me. This should inspire me to be the best me that I can possibly be. And to remember as well that when you are thinking about comparing yourself to these people as well, think about the sacrifices they've had to make that you wouldn't normally see, that aren't in the limelight. All the hours and years of dedication, and all the money spent, all the time spent to achieve what great things other people have achieved. And to think about, maybe some of the sacrifices they've had in their lives, in other areas of their lives. And to remember that, we're all just doing our best. And that's kind of the way I like to think about that. But that's not even what I was actually going to talk about today. But just remember that. Just to remember to, take a second. I feel like, when we compare ourselves to the people in the media, the people that we see on TV or Instagram or any social media or anything like that, a lot of the times we want to try and compare ourselves or compare, some of the things that we do well, and then say, oh, this person might be great at that, but they're terrible at this. Or I'm sure that they don't have healthy relationships, or I'm sure that they maybe are depressed, or I feel like, we always try and find, some gaps in their lives when we're comparing ourselves. And I feel like sometimes we just need to take a second to be able to, think about how cool it is that we can actually celebrate people. We don't have to tear people down to make ourselves feel great. We can take a second to celebrate people and think, isn't it fantastic that a human being was able to achieve that thing? And I'm a human being too. So maybe I can achieve, that thing, or something that's, at the same caliber of success, but in a different area of life. Shouldn't this motivate us to think, oh, human beings are great people, are great beings. They're great, great things. And I'm the same thing. So I can also be great if I apply myself, in aspects of life. And also understand that there is outliers. There is people that are just kind of born, to do special things. And I think that all of us are actually born to do special things, but not all of us are born to do the same thing that someone else does. And so you have your own special thing that you're born for, and you should maybe focus on that and celebrate how great humans can be and should be. I guess that was like a Freudian slip. I almost said should be, but I think that we should be. But where was I going with this? Oh, right, the body positivity movement. So that's what I actually wanted to talk about. Hold on, I'm going to take one more sip of my coffee here. Let's take one more second to get ourselves in the zone. Okay, so took my second sip of coffee during this podcast episode. That's 10 minutes in. We're taking another sip. Take a sip. Take a sip. Take a breath. Let's refocus here. So, the body positivity movement, and one of the biggest beefs I have with this. Maybe we'll do another episode on this, but I just wanted to talk about this one specific topic in regards to this movement of body positivity. And I want to talk about how I feel like it can be detrimental sometimes to people's mental health and how I come to that conclusion. And so one of the things that irks me about this movement is the fact that, we always talk about, or we always see people talk about, the fact that everyone's beautiful, everyone's perfect, everyone, if you feel bad about the way you look, if you feel bad about the way your body functions, if you feel bad about the way people talk about what health is, what healthy looks like, etc., all you have to do is change the way you think about health and just change your mindset and understand that you're born perfect and you never have to work for it. You're just, whatever situation you're in right now is a beautiful situation. And I feel like that can be such a, I hate using this word, but I feel like it can be such a toxic thing to say to people because, as much as I believe in, having the ability to change your mindset and to change the way you think about things and to change your perspective, to change the way you view the world. I feel like it's almost terrible to tell somebody, hey, you know what, if you feel bad about this aspect of your life, you just need to change the way you think about it. You just need to think positive about it and you just need to feel good about it. And then these people, and this is something that happened to me for years and years and years where I was kind of like overweight. I was not active. I wasn't paying attention to my nutrition. I wasn't as, focused on being healthy and moving properly and feeling good in regards to how my body performed on a daily basis. I was getting used to the aches and pains and the bumps and the bruises and the, just low energy and the lethargicness, if that's a word, for years. And I would just kind of, I fell into the trap of thinking like, oh, this is what normal is. This is what healthy is. This is, I should feel good. I should feel happy. I should feel proud. I should feel all these positive things. And it almost gaslit me into, feeling like a fraud, feeling like a phony or like imposter syndrome because months and months and months would go by, years would go by, and you keep hearing the message, you should feel good. You should feel awesome. Isn't this great? Isn't this normal? Isn't this what healthy is? This is what normal is. And years would go by and I still wouldn't feel good. And I started to feel like, am I the broken one? Am I the one that's not, right? Is my head not right? And I feel like this message of just like, you just need to change your perspective and we just need to normalize, what healthy looks like. And and it's always this vague and unspecific thing. And we tell people they just need to feel good. They just need to change the way they think about health. They just need to change the way they feel about it. Yet these people are continuing to go on and, like I said, months go by, years go by, and they still don't feel good. And they start to think, am I broken? Am I is my brain not right? Is my body not right? How come I don't feel good like I'm told I should be? And I think that, I think that that's why sometimes we have to look at the world through the lens of like how it really is versus how we want it to be, how we want it to feel, how we want it to look like. Sometimes we have to just call it what it is. Because, someone could be maybe overweight and they might feel like it's mean to say, oh, I'm overweight. or for a doctor to say, hey, you're overweight or you're not healthy. And that might be mean to say, but I think that telling somebody the truth and viewing the world in a realistic way is the most compassionate thing that we can do for that person. Because if they don't feel good, physically, emotionally, spiritually, when they look in the mirror and they don't think that this is the body, this is the housing that I need to live in, this is my vehicle through life, and I don't feel like it's functioning at its best, and someone else that's a professional in this, field says, yeah, actually your body could be running more optimally. There's changes you can make to make your vehicle run better. The most compassionate thing to do would be to tell them the truth about that. And if they don't feel good at the current moment, the message shouldn't be just feel good, just change your perspective on it. The message should be, yeah, you know what? I understand that you don't feel good because of X, Y, and Z, but it's possible to change that. It's possible to make some alterations. It's possible to make some life choices and change some of your daily habits such that you do feel good, you do feel better. And this process might not happen overnight. It might not happen in a week. It might not happen in a month. It might not happen even in 1 year. Sometimes we have to make drastic changes that take time. But it's possible to get yourself feeling good. It's possible to get yourself in a position where you feel good. Whether that's in regards to your health, your finances, your relationships, your work, your anything in life, right? Sometimes the message we want to hear is you're in the right spot. Everything you're doing is great. And you're going to feel better if you just eventually do it. But, sometimes the message is, you're not doing the right things. And maybe there is some changes you can make. And to not make it from a judgmental standpoint, not say these things from a judgmental standpoint or from a place of, higher morality of like, oh, I'm better than you, you should do what I do. But from a place of compassion, of understanding where that person is and say, look, man, I get it. You're working hard. You're doing, what you feel like is best. But there might be a better way to go about this. There might be a better way for you to feel good. There might be a more efficient way or a more effective way for you to actually feel good. So that when you look at yourself, either literally in the mirror or proverbially when you're journaling, you're reflecting, you're thinking about yourself, you can actually start to feel proud. You can actually start to feel good about yourself, where you're at in life. And so I want to take this time. It's Monday today. I want to take this time to remind you that, sometimes it's important, actually all the time, it's important to take a realistic view of our life, where we're at in life, and understand that, things could probably be better. And not in the sense of what our perspective is on how we view our life and, that everything's perfect and sunshine and rainbows. It's not always perfect, but you can improve. You can do it. And so many humans have dealt with this issue that you're dealing with right now in the past. And they made it through it. And there's so many examples of success stories that it would almost be redundant to go into it right now. But I just want to remind you that, no matter what changes you need to make in your life, no matter what challenges you face or adversities you face, it's possible to make it through this. And when you do, and I'm not saying if, I'm saying when you do, you can actually, honestly look at yourself and say, I am fucking proud that I did this thing. I'm proud that I made this change. I'm proud that I inspired others. I'm proud that I get to live a more happy, a more, a more comfortable life. And I say comfort in the fact that, when you get up out of bed every morning, you don't wake up lethargic. You don't wake up lazy. You don't wake up ruining the day. You wake up energized. You wake up feeling good, like you can conquer the world. Like whatever challenges you come across during that day, you can overcome. And so that's the message I want to give you guys today. Understanding that sometimes life isn't perfect, and it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be broken. It's okay to be a little bit messed up. It's fine. You're human. But it's not okay to sit there and dwell in it and tell yourself that, you don't need to make changes and you can just continue living the way that you do, even if you don't feel good, and that eventually you'll feel good living that way. It's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to continue doing what led you to be not okay. And I think that's pretty much it. So, thank you very much for joining me on this podcast episode. If you enjoy this message, if you feel like you need to share this message with somebody else, please do share it. I'm excited to hear some of your feedback. I'm excited to hear some of the ways that you think I'm a genius and some of the ways you think I'm a fucking idiot. So that's pretty much it. Happy Monday. Make some steps towards changing your life today. And tell me about it. Reach out to me on Instagram. Instagram is @RisenFallen. We do have the mental health group running on Telegram as well, so you can reach out to me there. You can join the group. We do have weekly meetups in person here in Vancouver. If you can't make it for the meetups, we do also have Zoom calls when we don't meet up in person, so you can join in for that as well. But other than that, I think that's pretty much it. Have a good week. I'll catch you guys on Thursday. Much love and peace out, you beautiful fucking human beings. Bye.